Good morning. Welcome back to your wardrobe construction seminar. Session 4, we're finally there. This is the last big push and we are done. So, what's our first step? You think it's to clean out your closet, but you're wrong. The first step is to evaluate the storage space you have and get it ready and organized for your ideal wardrobe. So, last session's homework was to write down your ideal wardrobe. So you have taken into account what you want to convey to the world, and you have also taken into account like how much of a clothing budget you have, how much clothing you need to have to do the work you do in life. And you've made an ideal wardrobe. You have to have that. You must do the homework in order to move forward. All right. So, the next thing you're going to evaluate is realistically go look before we start cleaning out, before we start doing anything else. Let's look at your physical storage space. Because what you're going to do with your clothing, how much clothing you are going to have, where you're going to put it, etc., it's all going to depend on your space. Also, I want you to end this session ready to start wearing your clothes. And that means you need to have them in front of you. Out of sight, out of mind is 110% true for your wardrobe. You think that you will remember that you put that denim skirt in the drawer with your jeans. You will not. If that denim skirt is something that you coordinate with your regular clothes, it needs to be in the closet. It doesn't go with the jeans because when you're looking in the drawer for the jeans, you're not thinking denim skirt. They don't go to the same places. Out of sight, out of mind. Also, we have a huge difference between what we have to work with. So, I live in an older home, in a smaller home. My closet, my bedroom closet, has about 6 feet of hanging space, of which, once you move some shelving and the half that belongs to me, I just went and measured it. I have 28 inches of hanging space for my hanging clothes that aren't coats or whatever. So, and we also have a coat closet. We have about 2 feet of space in there. I have an armoire, which is like folding clothing. And that's it. That's it. That's the space I have. So when we're talking about out of sight, out of mind, my reality and your reality might be different. If you live in a more modern home with or larger home with a walk-in closet, then you're going to be able to do something where you really do a beautiful job of staging your clothes, staging your accessories, and you're going to be able to have a space that's more like an actual storefront where you can go in there and really indulge your creativity. But no matter how big or how small your space is, remember when you finish this, you will have moved your clothing around. You will have reorganized it as well as sorting it out. So you're going to want to end up with a space where your ideal wardrobe could go to live, where you have enough room for your clothes, where you're going to be able to see the clothes that you interact with most often. Those need to be in the forefront, where you have, storage for off-season clothing, um, you know, things that are half a size off or something like that. Those need to be an out of sight, out of mind. So you need to sit down and think about all of that right now. So, first, homework. You're going to get up, you're going to go look at the closet you actually own and the chest of drawers you actually own. Don't need you to go make a new closet system. I need you to start right here. Great. So you went and looked at your closet. You have an idea about how much space you're going to be working with. Now, let's talk about storage systems, because you can add some inexpensive storage systems. I mean, sure, you could redo your closet, call California Closet, and have them rebuild you a closet. But if you're in that kind of income situation, maybe you're also hiring a professional stylist to do this for you. Maybe not. You could do that. That might be a little bit more time investment than we want to go into right now. But you do need some basic things. First of all, you need decent hangers. The velvet hangers, the matching hangers are the base state. You need those. You need plenty of pants and skirt hangers and the clippy ones, so you need the velvet hangers. You need, and you need pants and clippy hangers. Okay, you need those. For nice jackets, for blazers, etc., like that, I still like a thicker hanger. I like a wooden hanger for that, or a padded hanger. You need a few of those. You probably have some of those. The fluorescent plastic hangers that we all have, and we for sure all had, and we probably still have, you don't want those. You're going to invest $20, $40, buy a big box of hangers. Start there. Second, do you have a lot of scarves? I mean, you know what you have. Know what you have right now. Do you need a scarf hanging system in your closet? I have one of those. Where are you going to put those? How about belts? Do you have, Lauren, when she was going through these classes, she had a whole shelf and she could coil her belts up and display them beautifully on, shelving that went up her bedroom wall. Fabulous. I don't have that kind of room. I have a belt hanger system that I share with my husband in my closet because, again, I don't have a ton of closet room. Think about this. What kind of accessory room do you need? I have a ton of jewelry, so I have a jewelry armoire. You need to keep this all organized. Whatever you have and whatever you plan to have, you need storage space for it. You need shoe racks or the shoe things that hang in your closet if you have that kind of space. Whatever the space, whatever you need to get the hardware for that. It shouldn't cost you a ton of money, but you need to have it. Repurpose something, that's fine. I don't need you to buy new stuff if you've already got stuff. Use it. But you need to have it. All right? So that's really important to just, you evaluate what you've got, and then you're going to say, okay, well, I need the velvet hangers. I need clippy hangers. I need a shoe rack. Let's get that right now. First step, we're going to get that out of the way. We're going to have our hard components. So this is just the same way we've structured this whole class. First, you find out what you actually have to work with. Then you start working with it. Same thing here. Now, when we're talking about that ideal wardrobe, there's something to take into account. And this will go for your actual physical organization. What kind of clothes do you need to have on hand? What are you looking at? Okay, let me give you 3 examples. 1, my best friend's a nurse. She works 12-hour shifts. She wears scrubs. She puts on a hanger, and this is brilliant. This is great. She gets the whole outfit completely ready from the skin out. It's on a hanger, and she has that in her closet. So all she has to do at 6 a.m. is grab, go. Beautiful. So she has a section of her closet devoted to that. So that's an important thing for her to have in storage. I don't have that. Making outfits ahead and designing ahead for me is a luxury. I love doing it. I don't really have any place to put that together. When I have done that for myself, taken some time and put in the effort to really play and design an outfit, and then I wear that later in the week. Oh, chef's kiss. Best outfits ever when you take the time to design them ahead of the game. If you've got the space to start doing that for yourself and you know what the days are going to call for, let's think about if you have the space or if you have the necessity, one way or the other, where you're going to like pre-game some outfits, and that's accessories, that's the whole outfit, you know, all the layers. If you have some pre-gaming room, great. If you don't, you don't. If you need to, because you are grab and go, and you're in a uniform profession, especially. So let's think: is that you? Incorporate it into your finished design. I want you to sit down and think about what you want your closet, your clothes storage to look like when you're done. Because yours will not look like mine. Mine doesn't look like Lauren Messiah's. Mine doesn't look like my best friend who lives 4 hours down from me. Everybody's looks different, but it should all be visually appealing to the person that owns it, and it should be functional for the person that owns it. Also, you have to take into account, are you sharing that space? Then you have to share fairly. This all goes into your closet design. And by closet, I mean all your clothing storage space. All right, second example. How about that mom of toddlers or babies who's getting dirty constantly? Well, she doesn't need 5 shirts. She needs 20. Because she might go through 3 in a day. Hey, there's some days she went through 5. We all know. 20 is going to get her, 2 laundry day a week out. There's weeks that's happening. And so she needs space for all of that. But she's not buying, at that stage, she's not buying handkerchief linen because that would only get ruined. She might buy that for her church dress, but she is sure not wearing it around the house with the kiddos. So she needs perhaps a big stack of t-shirts that suit her, or, sweaters or whatever she wears. She needs a big stack of them because she just gets them dirty constantly. Again, she's not pre-planning her outfits or very often because, again, she's having to change constantly. She gets dirty, somebody spits up on her, somebody walks over to her, in that little ad, with the mom and the kid, when the kid just uses mom's sleeve to wipe all the chocolate ice cream off of her face. Our kid would be in trouble for that for most of us, but it's also happened to every mom I know. She has different storage needs than the nurse, and she also has different storage needs from the corporate woman, who is the one you're going to see in most books, who has most of her clothing is going to be in the closet. It's going to be hung. And she's going to be doing a lot of mixing and matching. She's going to have like a capsule wardrobe. So maybe she's not doing outfits hung on hangers because she doesn't have, because she's working with, a couple of basic, like she's working with her basic dark neutral skirt, her basic dark neutral blazer, and, 5 different shirts that go with that. So obviously she's not hanging all of that together. Maybe what she has is she's pre-planning, so she's doing her outfit planning, and in a book. So she took photos of the outfits, put them in a binder, and then she has those for reference if she's having a rough morning, trying to remember, did I wear this same thing last week, last Wednesday? I don't want this to be my Wednesday outfit. So just think about that. So they have different storage needs. They have different organizational needs. And, it's also time of life, what kind of collections you have. Again, I am of the mind that accessories should be kept for the most part unless they really don't suit you. And I'm in my early 50s and my husband likes to buy me jewelry and accessories. I have a lot of them. So I have a lot of storage for those things. And I have to think about that. How do I, keep this organized? How do I know, how do I need to make sure to rotate things so I'm not just wearing the same pair of earrings all the time? Uh, you know, think about that now. I really want this for you. From my goal for you, for this section, when you walk out the door of this class, even this, metaphorical online class, I want you to have the tool of a completely functional wardrobe. So we're going to start off the ground. We're going to start by evaluating what we have to work with, our physical things. We are going to provide structure like hangers, like, shoe racks, whatever it is that you need. Go get those. And third, we're going to just be honest about who we are and what our ideal wardrobe really looks like. Okay? So that's what we're doing. This is section 1, or chapter 1 of section 4. We're going to finish up this section. It's going to be all about cleaning out your closet and building your wardrobe. On to the next.